Hey guys, Elite Legionario here, bringing you a 2 vs 2 for Shogun 2 Total War, Fall of the Samurai. And this map is, I think it's like the Chikuku Pass or something like that. I'm the blue flags, and my ally Monlith is the red or maroony kind of flags. And we'll be up against Paprika's. This guy was like 10 green stars, so I think he was like a really huge rank. So as you can see, all his forces are decked out with upgrades, and his ally is Mesanary, who's using a more maroony flag actually than Monlith's ones. So my army consists of white bear infantry, a couple of units of them, 3 units of white bears it seems. Nope, 4 units of white bears. It was a while ago I did these, so I can't actually really remember how it went. I got a couple of bokachi. No, it's katanakachi, my bad. That katanakachi. Here's some yariki. I don't know, I've got more of somewhere. And here's my here's my bokachi up the front. And I know I have some more cav here. So 3 units of yariki, 4 white bears, 3 katanakachi, a spear levy, and a bokachi, I believe was my forces. Monlith has his infantry marine, which are his best unit, if I recall. They're a lot better now, if I believe. A Vermilion bird force, which has got some black bears. It appears he has 4 black bears, I think. Some of them are vetted. He has an Armstrong gun and some Shogutai. And of course, he's got his general, which is this guy in the blue coat here. And I think he has some cav as well, if I recall. He seems he has some bokachi here. And I'm sure he had a cav unit, but a couple of cav units. Anyway, we decided to move out to this little island here and make use of these woods. Try and use that Armstrong to draw them in. I leave a cav unit behind to help support. As far as I can tell, here's our opponent's. He got into yariki out here. I think he was trying to hide, but I don't think it was. And of course, here's his general, which is like this dude here. And this guy's got his general there, and of course he had those cav out there before. But a lot of very vetted units, if I recall, for the Paprika, which is the white flag guy. So I think I'll just go to like maximum speed, because this sort of just goes on for quite a while. But Paprika does try an attack on Monlith's artillery soonish, but we decide to move over to this island, so that our enemy will be forced to come across the river. This is kind of a difficult map by the looks of things. All these sort of little choke points you can make over the river, and units like bows could be very effective to outrange certain elite units. But I mean, good wooded cover like this and this and this could nullify that too. It would be very interesting. I suppose when you got all the big range upgrades on your gun units and bow units, make a big deal. So we wanted to use this area over here, and I'm going to slide her up now, because this is where Paprika brings in a very large strike from all these yariki. So let's get some nice close-ups of these. So he's going to charge in here, and he's going to try and get Monlith's Vermilion birds, which should, I think, get them in range very soon. Should be, yeah. So Monlith's going to open up on them, and there was an artillery hit there, although he does manage to get a lot of them through. But I shall arrive with my cav now, but they're getting beaten decisively. So this cav did a very good job of surviving that hit. But we do manage to finally defeat most of his cav, for the most part, there in this little forest skirmish. But it was pretty costly for us. It wasn't without without some punishment. He's his general, and we just, well, I don't think I spotted him. Monlith sure did, and we wanted to kill him. And I'm not sure if I spotted him very quickly. No, I did spot him, because here comes my cav. And I only got 9 left, but hopefully we can kill this general. But he's going to pull him out of there, and only with 1 casualty. So I think I'm not sure if he got rid of Monlith's. He's seen a few pop shots off on his general, so he takes them down to 4. There's only 3 left, and I think his general's just going to get away. So I think that exchange went our way more, because I'm pretty sure Monlith's artillery didn't get hit at all. No, it's not hit enough to the point where he can't use it. So although I lost most of my cav and Monlith lost probably lost that Vermilion bird force, he lost a lot of his mobility. So this guy moved up some units in support, but me and Monlith are peeling off some units to try and force him to have to go back. So that's us currently. What was my general looking like at this point? He was looking pretty extended. He just had his cap. He's changed a wee bit since then. So this guy had, I think it was 4 Yari key as well. And they will go into hiding, I suspect. Yep. So the majority of White's forces are in here, and he's supported by his allies' cav rather. So I'm going to go back into triple or quadruple. And this is probably going to just go on like this for a very long time. And I believe Monlith just started taking pot shots at just anywhere in that woods. And here is a look at some of these forces. As you can see, look at the upgrades. Royal Marines, look at the upgrades on them. Imperial Guard Infantry, let's see, Black Bears, more Imperial Guard Infantry. Look at them. They must have 9 chevrons, is it? I mean, man, that'd be expensive to field. It'd be damn good. Some more Imperial Guard Infantry. So this guy's got some really, really powerful stuff, but he's going to try and outmaneuver us here. And this is where Monlith's probably going to bring up his bows, because his bows possibly could have the range. But although this guy's probably got like the range upgrades that really make the range on these units incredible. I left some of my cav behind, but I mean it only barely came out with half its units from that last scrap. And as you can see there, they've got some really incredible range, and he's just going to open up and make short work of Monlith pretty quickly. And he gets his cav, his artillery kind of exposed in a bad position there. And these guys are going to be dead meat. Just some pretty... Look at that, just got pretty much cut to bits. And here's where the Yari key of the enemy comes up to try and intercept. I'm going to bring my cav up to prepare to help him and force him away from Monlith and his 2 infantry units here. But I am probably moving too slowly at this point, if I remember. I'm just trying to keep an eye on these units here because Monlith's cav's pretty much out of the picture, I think. And now he's just going to do a Shogun charge to try and force his men back, but he's going to get cut up by these 2 units here that are covering him. But at least it covers his artillery. But artillery can be very powerful, but I think it also can be a pretty kind of hindrance to you too, really. And here I make a monumental mistake. I moved my cav back, and Monlith's going to take some bad charges from him, and that was entirely my fault. I think he was kind of frustrated, and that was my fault, so sorry about that. But I do manage to come in just in time to make sure that he doesn't lose too many forces and trap in a lot of this cav here. He's also under fire from some of my white bears. So I just managed to save Monlith in time there, but I really blundered that. But his marines didn't take too many casualties. So we do manage to kill most of the enemy cav as well. So I think we got lucky there from the mistake I made. And I see these raw marines right here, and I want to try and run a cav strike on them, but my cavs start doing weird stuff. I start clicking them over here, and they start randomly running downwards in front of the fire line. I don't know what they were doing. I wanted them to just flat charge. You watch what they do. I'm telling you now, I've never done this before. Look at that. See, they're going down there. I was clicking on them for attack there, and they're running down here. I was extremely frustrated with it. I had to kind of manually click where I wanted to go, and they keep doing all this weird stuff, and I'm going to lose these cav units to weirdness. I was really frustrated. I'm telling you now, I didn't tell them to go there. I was telling them to run them down, and it was really annoying. So I was extremely frustrated because I've just lost my cav, and it wasn't even my fault. It was the game being stupid. So Monlith gets a few shots off on some of these other elite units. So I did make a bit of a mistake there trying with some of these infantry, and Monlith lost a few, but I mean eventually it did draw all that cav and we did kill it, so that was well worth it. Well, anyway, Monlith's going to pull back, and our opponent is also going to pull back, so probably a fairly even skirmish. Well, might have gone more his way than ours. His units are so much better than ours. So anyway, I'm going to go into speed again because not a lot happens, so we just sort of move around a bit. I believe we organise a line up here like so. But we want to keep an eye on this guy too in case he does anything fancy. So that's why Monlith will probably line up there. So he moves his general out of the woods or more into it. And Monlith still managed to protect his Armstrong gun, so that's actually quite interesting. In a lot of ways, it wasn't that super useful, I felt, in this fight. It really tied us down more than it helped us, to be honest. And we're just sort of reorganising our forces. We're going to put our archers up front, so if they make an attack, our longer range units will work. And we're going to put this gun unit on the hill up here. We're just going to take random pop shots at the woods here and hope we can hit something. But I don't know how effective we're going to be with that, but that's what we want to do. So anyway, he's just organising his forces in the front there. And he gets some close-ups of this cannon fire. Yeah, I believe he lost a cannon, I think. I think they come with 2 cannons, don't they? Oh no, maybe not. I get muddled with other Total War games. So yeah, we're just going to try and bombard the forest, I think. And see if we can hit anything. As I said, I think they were costly and didn't really help in this fight. That's not to say they can't be helpful, but in this fight I think they just cost more. And it appears the target of his attention is actually this general over here. And he does actually hit a killer unit there, as you can see. He's going to have to be forced to move. But I mean, it's not really that effective at the moment. But anyway, as you can see, we saw a bit of an even sort of skirmish that went on there, and we probably just came out even in the end. Monlith did lose a few men, but that was mostly my fault, so I moved back for some reason, and he took advantage of the fact that I moved back. And here's this general out here. I don't know if we actually go to side. I don't think we've got enough range for that. So at the moment in the fight when we're doing this, we were discussing what to do because our opponents just are clearly not going to come out. And both me and Monlith are attackers. Well, I know I'm definitely an attacker and I prefer to attack, and so does he. So we're just trying to work out how to go about getting in our forces to come out, or our forces to make a better positioning on them. So what we decide is to actually come over here and cross around here. I'll use one of my weakened cav to screen and scout these woods to see if there's any forces of this guy out in the woods out there, and then we'll go around there. So as you can see, we're just talking at the moment. At this point in the game, we were just talking about what to do, what we might like to do or want to try to do. So as you can see, Monlith's just taking pot shots into the woods here and probably not really having much effect. But we will start moving soon, and then we'll, as I said, we're kind of discussing ideas of what to do, because it's clear our opponents do not wish to vacate their hidden locations in those woods. So here comes a unit of Imperial Guard infantry. I'm not sure why that's come out. It'd be tempting to attack it, but I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not really sure what this person was doing here. I think it's like he got sick of waiting and he just dumped, or ditched the game rather, which was disappointing. And he was calling us campers and all sorts, and you know, I find that kind of contradictory, because me and Monlith are the only ones who really moved out that much. I mean, he moved out a bit to fight here, that's true, but I mean, we can't just randomly charge in there with all those elite units of his. But anyway, Monlith will target these guys, but that water will probably be a good shield to him, in all honesty. These guys must be really, really elite, because I mean, look at those chevrons. Probably cost them like half his money or something. So he's smart though, because he's got this lip here to guard him from the cannon fire. So it's smart. That's smart playing. And I'm just going to triple again, guys. At this point, we've decided on our plan of action, and we're going to move, and we're going to cross over here. Because I believe this is where we anticipated there probably would be the least resistance. That's what we were hoping anyway. So we're preparing to do that, and that's what we're doing, just moving our forces up there. But this Imperial Guard infantry seems content to follow us. Well, it was. Not too sure what he was trying to do there, to be honest. Maybe he was trying to bait some cav out of us, but we don't really have any cav left. So we're just going to come over here, because we've got cover in these woods. If someone comes out, we can retreat back to them. It's a good line of retreat, although it is quite a thick part of the crossing over here. I'm going to scout out here ahead with my remaining cav. There's a unit of cav I have that's pretty depleted, but it's still got enough to be scouting. So I'm going to scout these woods and see if I can find anything of this guy over here. And if there's nothing, then here he is here, I've brought him over. And if there's nothing, we'll bring our forces over, and that'll give us these woods to use as an area to guard ourselves. And of course we'll be able to catch this guy as he tries getting over the river as well, if we're going over. So we're going to come across the river now in an attempt to get these positions. And I will keep scouting out these woods just to be sure that there is no threat to us coming over here. And I don't think, if I were them, I would not let this happen. It'd be a good idea to try and catch us in the river. That would be what I'd want to do if I were these guys. So it would be the best chance to knock us out while we're stuck here in the river. So, but anyway, the plan is simple, to try and get into here. As you can see, I'm scouting, just trying to see if there's anything hidden in here that could be a threat to us, but I don't think there is. And then we can use these forests and these little hilled areas to have terrain advantages in. And again, Monlith can use his artillery to perhaps force them out into a favourable area. And of course, we've got our long-range bows that can get your first shots. Plus with good terrain, and plus you could hide the bows behind a hill lip and shoot over them, and they wouldn't be able to hit you. At this point, this force has come out now. I think he might have left the game at this point though, so it could be AI controlled. But of course, very, very elite units. Not that big an army, but so extremely elite. Extremely elite units. So here's some of this. He has these black tortoise force, which is interesting because they're not that greatest. Not in my experience they are anyway. But then again, I'm not very good at Fall of the Samurai, but I don't think they're very good. Unless they use them like outflanking or something. So anyway, I'm just going to triple speed again, and Monlith's going to hold up position on this edge of the woods here, and I'm going to actually come around and use this hill. And I'll have line of retreat back into the woods here, and Monlith can cover me if it needs to be done. Monlith's probably got better infantry than me, but I do have more. So, and again, I think I've got a couple of bows. So I'm going to take that hill, and this is again, they shouldn't have let this happen. They just shouldn't have let us take the hill. So it appears he has 4 black tortoise forces. I'm not concerned about them, they're not a match for my infantry. Here is his general, I think. Yep, there's his general. And I'm just rushing to take these hills. And I'm just screening in the woods here in case there was anything out on my flank. And he does shoot it there, but I don't care. I just want to make sure there's nothing hidden in there that will come out on my flank and be a real big pain. So I'm going to get optimal height positioning if I can. And Monlith's going to just be ready to handle this army. His army's got more elite infantry, as I said, than me. More upgraded, I think, for the most part. So he's probably better to handle them than I am. Plus he's more experienced at Fall of the Samurai than me. So that's why we agreed to do it like that. And again, every time I play Fall of the Samurai, I've got to be making sure I've got line of fire. I do make that mistake far too often. I believe there are some more hidden forces to come yet from the Maroon player than just these Black Tortoise forces. So I really don't know why they just let us take this terrain. It's much more favourable to us. It seemed almost like a campy strategy. I'm not trying to say they're campers, but it seemed more like it. They accused us of it, but I mean we did more of the moving. So Monlith's artillery is now firing at this elite infantry here, so he's going to draw him off. At this point he's still just got these Black Tortoise forces, which will not be a match. I think he put a lot into his cav. I think he might still have some hidden stuff. So I'm bringing my archers up to get him into range, and here comes he's still the Black Tortoise force. So just going to bring them up, and I've got them pretty well situated on the hills, the gun units here, pretty good area for line of fire. And they have to attack or Monlith is going to tear up a lot of their men. And it looks like even this guy might come across my line of fire. So I will allow my archers to open fire on them, and Monlith will hit them in the crossfire. So here's some nice hits from my missile units. And he does actually hit some of my white bees there. He's got extreme range, if you remember. And for some reason they really didn't have... I'm surprised I did not have range even with this height advantage. Fortunately I do have range now. And I moved my arrows back more. And it's at this point that I was actually thinking, well, Monlith needs to hurry up here because I'm actually getting attacked by both armies. And that could be tough for my infantry because none of these infantry are upgraded. And for some reason these white bears felt the need to run all the way down the hill like this. I don't know why. So they're going to get pretty owned in the crossfire there. But I'm actually losing. It's because I'm having to fight both armies on my own, and Monlith only just now moving. But because it's Black Tortoise force, I'm not that too worried because they're pretty crap. And they are starting to lose now that I've managed to divert some attention onto the other units. Plus I have better terrain. Probably should have moved my arrows back here, so there's been a mistake on my part. I'm still not that great at this kind of game. I like it though. It's an excellent and fun game. So he's winning over here where he's got the wood cover. But Monlith's now on my side there, or at my flank. And here he reveals Yarikachi and Katana Kachi. But I think I would have been able to pretty easily beat him if I hadn't had to divide my forces to handle these units over here. I was hoping that Monlith would cover them sooner, but he actually didn't. So I do take some pretty heavy casualties, and I probably should have moved back more. I think I might have had more ability to do so. I should have moved my archers back for certain. But here, at this point, Monlith will take down a lot of these infantry units here. They're just trying to flat charge him, but his black bears should have no trouble doing plenty of damage there. He's got his marines right behind them on a slight hill rise, so that's going to go nicely for him. Some pretty nice shots there. And his fire arrows pouring in. These katana kachi are now probably going to tear him to bits, but he's just going to outflank him now and shoot him in the back, so it's all good. And I have actually taken some pretty punishing blows from these units over here, because I lost a lot of them fighting that frontal assault there. But ordinarily, black tortoises are just crap. At least in my experience they are. But now he tries to draw up closer, and I do manage to get some shots in. And I'm just going to use this unit of spear levy to just absorb his shots, like a meat shield, so I can keep firing him with my other units. And as you can see, it works out quite nicely as I get quite a few volleys in here, and he's not able to fire back. And they actually end it, I believe. Good game there, quite a long one, and we had to think a bit there because our opponents really didn't want to move, and it's kind of tough terrain to work around with all those kind of little choke points on river edges and things. Challenging. And I'll admit I'm certainly not the best at Fall of the Samurai. I definitely like it. It's a very, very fun addition to Shogun and well worth buying. But I'm not very good at that kind of whole method of warfare with the guns. I like it very much, but I have to work on getting better at it. But it was a fun fight though, and that was pretty fun to beat that guy who had like 10 green stars. That was really quite impressive. So if you look at the stats, Monlith had 392 men. He had 187 losses and 279 kills. I had 500 men, 220 losses and 273 kills. So Monlith slightly outperformed me there. And Paprika's had 265 men, 230 losses and 212 kills, and Mesanary had 490 men, 324 losses and 190 kills. So if we look at the unit statistics, my best was one of my white bears at 72, but another one got 65, so they did good, but nothing else really shined. Oh well, my cav came off pretty evenly, I guess. This white bear got owned. My general only got more than he lost. My bowcart, she got more lost. It wasn't a very small scale for some reason, I don't know why, it just sort of randomly did that. Paprika's 66 for his Imperial Guard infantry, Royal Marines, not Magines, 56, but nothing spectacular from it. Probably a very costly army, powerful but costly. Monlith Infantry Marines 70, 52 for this Vermilion Bird Force, 39 for the Armstrong Gun, 31, so yeah, he got some probably better than me. And the Black Tortoise Force did actually do pretty good, but that was mostly because I had to focus half my forces on half of those Paprika's forces before Monlith moved in, so they ended up getting numbers down on me, and I probably should just move back some of my archers, so there's some stuff I still got to learn there. But appears I got the most kills, my white bear's getting 72, so that was pretty sweet, and Monlith coming in close second with 70. But anyway, good game to Monlith, Paprika's and Mesanary. Hope you guys enjoyed, and thank you for watching. I'll see you soon next time.